Hello, welcome back to storage tech that I almost finished last year and then forgot about. This one's serious. This one's a box color swapper. So basically, the idea is you've got boxes coming in from box loaders or an input or whatever, and they're all either the same color or you don't know what color they are, and you want your storage hall to look amazing, much like myself. So you want a way to dye them. As you probably know, you can dye boxes automatically with the new autocrafter. So if you put a box and a dye in it and then power it, it'll spit out a coloured box just like this. Obviously you don't want them to all be the same colour because that's a bit boring. So you need a way to find out what colour dye to use for what sort of item. The best way to do this is basically an encoder. So you place the box down and there's a minecart underneath it that's set up like a filter. So it will take an item out of the box and then it will run it under a bunch of these chests. These are set up as overhead filters, and each chest corresponds to a coloured dye. So this chest here, you can see it's got a bunch of white items in it, and believe it or not, if it finds an item in that chest, it'll dye the box white, and so on for every other colour. Right, let's see it in action. I've got a chest here with a bunch of boxes full of concrete. The boxes aren't dyed yet, as you can see. But we want them all to be dyed the same colour as the concrete, so I'll just let that run and show you what comes out. Just like all my other new encoders, this one's got dry fire protection. So the idea is basically, if some idiot sends the minecart by itself without placing a box, or if the box is empty, then you don't want it to scramble your encoder. So there's a chest at the start that will basically just block the slot in the minecart so it can't scramble anything. It'll also detect this and shut the encoder off until you manually turn it back on. Because if that happens, something's gone wrong, so you don't want it turning itself back on. You want to shut it down, figure out what's wrong. There's also a chest here for just whitelisting items. So say you've got boxes coming in, some of them need to go to bulk, some of them need to go to a chest full, but you don't want to dye all the ones going to bulk, but you still want to recognise them so that you can send them to bulk. You just put those items in this chest here and it won't dye the box, it'll just send out a signal that you can detect and send the boxes to bulk. I'll just give you a quick overview of the wiring. So it's fairly standard encoder stuff, detects the chest getting less full, and unlocks the hopper above it so it can reset, and also sends a piece of dye to the front so you can re-dye the box. At the front we've got a comparator AND gate that controls whether it can actually run, so it'll make sure that it'll only run if all the chests are reset, the cart's reset, it's got a box, and it hasn't detected a dry fire. For actually using this, it's really simple, so you don't need to really do anything, you can just paste it in between your box loaders and your box sorter or encoder or whatever. It will literally just take any boxes you give it and output dyed boxes. You don't need to think about it too much. You do need to restock the dyes up at the top. You could automate that actually, that would be quite cool. But I've just got chests here for now. You could have box unloaders if you want as well. But yeah, it's very easy to use. Pretty much just plug and play with any storage system that sorts boxes. Right, one last thing, I'd like to show you how we used to do it before autocrafting. So this was XXOpticNerveXx's idea. Basically it's the same sort of thing, but instead of outputting a dye, it outputs an empty coloured box, and then you send them both to a merging array. And then you just unload the uncoloured box into a coloured box. It's a bit slower and a lot more complicated, but it works very well, and yeah, that's how you do it if you play versions before autocrafting got added. Right, that's about it. I want to thank Optic again for starting all this with the merging-based colour swapping. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.